All right, okay, fine. Since you really want to know, since you've been asking, I'll break it down. I'll explain it. To everybody out there who cared so much about what I am going to tell them that they cared so much about, I'll explain what happened. Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time. I'm Travanti. To those of you who are underinitiated or uninitiated, welcome to the campfire. Have a seat, some s'mores over there, some bugles, some Pringles, even though they're $7 per canister now, and some safe catch ahi tuna over there, sweet relishes over there, and your mayonnaise, your Miracle Whip for those who love Miracle Whip, Hellman's, and all of that other shit for those of you who are quite possibly Anglo-Saxon. And that is how you prepare your tuna melts and your tuna fish. And I digress. Okay. I receive I receive a text message. This text message comes from someone near and dear to me. Someone near and dear to me. My mom. Hi, mom. She's going to see this. And it was a YouTube link located therein. I'm curious, what could this possibly be about? I was at the office. I click. It opens. I see. Hmm. Who are the stars of the show? You might ask. I'll explain. This cast consisted of Leslie Jones, didn't expect to see that, and Ted Danson, didn't expect that pairing. They were on some kind of show, microphones involved, so you know they was talking about shit. Talking shit. What? Don't necessarily know, but it was a clip. So limited context, but what I do know is that she was talking about what her America or country, whatever she was running, would be like if she was at the helm, steering the ship, righting the wrongs, and all of that stuff, governance. Seemed a little draconian in ways, but in others seemed to be sensible. I don't know how tenable or sustainable, but I understood where she was coming from. Her heart was in the right place. But there were some questions, let's just say, that I had, and I'm going to address them. It's already been 3 minutes. Damn, I just started warming up. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up and make it quick. All right. So she essentially said, and I'm going to paraphrase. I don't have the video right here, right now, nor do I need it. I think I'm a pretty fanciful, nice storyteller. So I'm going to tell the story the way that I see it and recall. Okay. She was like, basically, if I was president or czar or dark templar or overlord or I said czar already, king, queen, whatever you might want to call yourself, when you're in a position of power or authority, ruling over a land and countryside, she said that, well, for one, I think that this place will be a better place, whatever the place might be. Um, the land that she would preside over, she thinks that society, this society, let's just say, the one that we're in, will be a better place, less criminal activity and things of that nature. If you was you just started throwing motherfuckers into volcanoes. I was a little taken aback, not offended because I don't disagree, but you know it's a little drastic. But then at the same time, what people do to people for no reason is quite drastic, and sometimes you offset drastic with drastic. I don't know, some drastic measures. She got drastic. Ted Danson is just sitting there nodding, like, oh, oh. I didn't see that coming. I'm gonna let you rock. I didn't. Volcanoes, volcanoes, like the ones non dormant, like the ones with the lava, like lava inside of it, like the volcanoes. Like you want to drop people into the center of the earth for whatever their misdeeds were. All right. Keep going. I mean, this is how the conversation started. So I would love to see where we end up. If we started with, we need to throw some motherfuckers in the volcanoes, set an example. I think that if you throw one, two, three, four, five motherfuckers in a volcano, who deserved it, and who's to decide that, by the way, but if they deserved it, throw them in the volcanoes. I guarantee you, crime will plummet because they're like, I can't have that happen to me. There's no fucking way that anybody's throwing me into a volcano. That does not look comfortable. And if I don't die immediately on the way down, oh my God. Oh my gosh. So the only caveat, or one of the caveats, was I might have rocked with Leslie Jones's, and I hope this she's well and flourishing. She looked pretty good, healthy at least. I don't know if her mind, anyhow. I was like, you know what? I'm inclined to kind of agree or understand where she's going with this if I knew for a fact that that works. Here's why I say that. You want to know why I say that? I'll explain. I'm glad you asked. So, I happen to know for a fact that it has been demonstrated historically that it doesn't work as well as she thinks that it might. That's how I know that Leslie Jones does not know ball. So this is coming from someone, me, Travanti, to those of you who are uninitiated, someone with elite ball knowledge. I can tell that Leslie Jones did not play Tekken a day in her life. She didn't play Tekken 1 in 1997 whenever it was released with the PlayStation 1. You remember it? And you're nodding your head, yeah, like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, in the very intro, no, not the intro, just when you beat the game of Tekken with, I want to say Heihachi Mishima. So there's a guy named Heihachi Mishima. He's the ringleader, the owner, the founder and CEO, the boss, the king of the Mishima Zaibatsu, which is a crime syndicate in the world of Tekken. He hosts the first ever Iron Fist tournament to launder his money, basically, under the guise of people testing their martial arts out. When really he's just politicking, playing his politics, power plays and moves, inviting the persons of interest with martial arts abilities, because you can't survive in this world without hands. He invites them all to come fight, like Shang Tsung did in Mortal Kombat. You following me? Okay. He his son enters the tournament because his son has eternal beef with Heihachi. His name is Kazuya Mishima. He's a prodigal son, meaning he's incredibly talented, effortlessly so. I always wonder why he had a gigantic scar on his chest. Looks amazing, looks dope as hell. By the way, Google it. No, fuck Google. Go it, which is probably Google by now. But just look it up. The scar came from, I'll explain that in a second. Let me bury that lead. So his son enrolls. His son's gonna win because his son is his son. He came from Heihachi. Heihachi should be proud of that. And I'm sure that he is deep down, but at the same time, he's like, this motherfucker got to go for reasons I never understood. I'm like 7 years old, not understanding why this father, who's supposed to love his son and his child and be proud of him and probably taught him everything he knew because they got the same martial art style, Mishima style karate, why he's always trying to murder this kid. And I'll explain to you why, because I didn't find out until like Tekken 7, because that's how great the franchise is in ways. It's been lackluster for some years, but that's fine. The lore is pretty fun and it's solid. And if you haven't played it, I recommend that you go and you just enjoy the lore of the world of Tekken, which is supposed to be a fighting game, but it's much more than that. although it was very much a fighting game. So he enrolls. Yoshimitsu's in there. Nina's in there. Kuma is in there. Panda is in there. Ling Xiaoyu is in there. Julia is in there. Fine as hell. Native American. Choctaw. I don't know what she was. Um, King, Armored King, which is Black King. Um, Dr. Abel, Boskanovich, Jack, who is a robot Jack. All of these guys are in there. Gon, Makujin. Nah, he wasn't until Tekken 3. Anyways, all of these guys are in there and they're about to duke it out. Beat each other. Oh, Paul Phoenix, Law, my favorite. He's Bruce Lee. All of these guys enroll and they're about to put hands and feet and elbows to each other. All right. Kazuya wins the tournament. Well, wins all the way up until he has to fight Heihachi. And then if you beat the game with Heihachi, who runs the tournament, hosts the tournament, it's the equivalent to having to fight Shang Tsung. And he's just going to take your soul anyway. It's just a ploy to take everyone's spirits and souls so that he stays alive and stays very young with fantastic skin, drizzled in rose water, which is great for the skin, very hydrating, which is why I'm all sheen, sparkly, sparkly, you know what I'm saying? So I digress. So he beats dude, well, he beats everybody else up. He has to fight his dad. His dad beats the fuck out of him because old man strength. Kazuya succumbs to his injuries. Heihachi Mishima, a young Heihachi Mishima, his hair was still black, traffic cones. His hair is amazing. He has some of the most iconic hair. Well, him and Kazuya have the most iconic hairdos, and Paul Phoenix, and probably video game history outside of like Sephiroth and Cloud. Um, I'd like to be honest with you. Anyhow, some more digression, but I'm sure you're enjoying these digressions. At least they make some sense in a way. No, they're completely asides, but it's fine. Um, so solemnly, you see a 3D polygonal, because it was polygons back then, um, cutscene. It was great graphics back then. He was carrying. They were playing traditional Chinese or Japanese music, whatever it was, and he was carrying his son, who was passed out, faded. Gave him the fade. He was knocked, KO'd. He was carrying this motherfucker on a mountaintop, and I'm like, what is he gonna? There's a hole. There's a hole over there. What is he doing? Surely he isn't gonna. Oh, he just drops this man, his unconscious body. He was still awake. Like he wasn't dead. He wasn't dead. He didn't kill him. He beat him in a fight. Imagine waking up in a volcano. Imagine waking up on the way down. I don't think you realize it's a volcano on the way down, but damn, you about to feel like you're in a volcano by the time you wake up. He threw him into a volcano, fam. He bounced off like the side and shit. He didn't even drop him straight, and he couldn't because I mean he couldn't levitate over the middle, the center of the volcano and drop him down evenly. Nah, he bounced off some rocks on the way down. Looked very painful, but none of it woke him up. None of it woke him up. Hopefully, he stayed fast asleep the whole way down. But yeah, he got dropped down the volcano. He dropped his son. Heihachi Mishima didn't go and splash some cold water on his son. His son go, like you do when you're doused in water when you're unconscious or whatever, and you come to. What happened? What happened? I knocked you the fuck out. That's what happened. Don't try me like that again. He didn't do that. He was like, while he's asleep, I'm dropping his bitch ass into the middle of this volcano, and I'm flying away on a helicopter, hanging on a ladder like a last action hero. Classic unsung, well, not a classic, but an unsung um, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from the 90s. He just flew away like he was in Eraser, hanging on a ladder like you do when you make daring escapes via helicopter. No one can ever fit in a helicopter. They just gotta hang and dangle on the fucking ladder when they're flying away, which I think is fly as hell. To have so little fear, you're like, hey man, let's just get out of here. You're like 11,000 feet in the air, man. Let's just scram, just beat it. I ain't got time to be pulled up. Let's just hover away in the helicopter, and you chilling. You got ultimate grip strength. You're not about to get tired or none of that. Just grip strength, stamina. You know what I'm saying? Your shoulders on point, in their sockets still. You're just hanging on the ladder. It's flopping around, all kind of shit. You're G-force resistant. Like you're good. After a fight, by the way, a grueling fight, a battle to near death. HP bar was green, now it's yellow to red, and you're just hanging on the ladder, flying away. After you just dipped your son into Earth's nectar, like into the center of the Earth, dropped him into the center of the planet, right down to the core, to melt him into nothing, to just disintegrate his son. For is that the price you pay for losing the fight? Like you can't just train him some more so that he is more successful next time and you have more of a challenge? You drop him into a volcano? That's crazy. Anyhow, drops his son into the volcano. I was a child. I was a kid, a little bitty boy, watching this happen. I'm like, I ain't supposed to see this. What is this? Dad, would you ever, like, there's no fucking way. What did he do? There was no context to these videos. And that's what's great about the cutscenes in Tekken. That they didn't explain it. They just showed you a snippet or a vignette and you're like, what the fuck was that about? Okay. Law opened up a kung fu school. I love that. Him and Paul Phoenix have some camaraderie. They're like best friends, but frenemies. And they force each other to get better and all that. Yoshimitsu's a weird alien, but not an alien. He's a part of a clan. But they just kind of develop alien bodies over time because they're weird. And the power is in the sword, but the sword is Yoshimitsu. And then Yoshimitsu, the body is like the inheritor of the sword's powers. And it needs blood. It needs fallen, slain bad guys because Yoshimitsu was a weird extraterrestrial, but from Earth, and a part of a ninja clan, Robin Hood. If that's the weirdest way to explain somebody, but that's probably the exact best explanation of Yoshimitsu. Someone else can get into the meat and the potatoes of the lore, but that's essentially the cliff notes. Anyhow, drops him in a volcano, man. And it's not until Tekken 7 that they're like, yeah, he did that because homeboy is the devil. And he knew that. But also come to find out, well, he had this gene in him all along, but also it wasn't awakened until Heihachi dropped his motherfucking ass when he was a little kid off a cliff. So he graduated from being thrown off a cliff as a kid. That's how I got the scar on his chest, by the way. To getting thrown into a volcano as an adult. So he grew up. That was his glow up. He graduated from getting thrown off a cliff by his dad to getting thrown off or thrown into a volcano. You know, the thanks that he gets from having been born to, you know, Jun Kazama and or whoever his mom was. Nah. That was Jin Kazama's mom and Kazuya's wife. But anyways, his mom and Heihachi, you know what I'm saying? They had problems. They had some dysfunctions. And we all have our dysfunctions, in our family. But it really put things into perspective for me. I was like, I have no problems with my family and my upbringing. I'm very appreciative, despite any of the trials and tribulations that we may have undergone. No one hasn't. No one gets out of this thing unscathed. We all had things to work through, but damn, you can't come back from your dad dropping you off a cliff, and you damn sure can't come back from your dad dropping you into a volcano, because dropping you off of a cliff was not good enough, because he thought that you was the devil. Come to find out, you were the devil. For I mean, if I survive getting dropped off a cliff and I know who did it, and I live with this fool, yeah, I'm probably that. I'll be that. Just like Redman said, I'll be that. I'll be that. I'll be that. I'll be that. You know what I'm saying? I'm plotting. From here on out, I'm plotting. There is no forgiveness. None. You will rule the day. You will rule the day, my guy. Okay? I will bide my time, train my ass off, and you will. You will meet your match. I will end you. So, fast forward some more. You ever notice that he's still alive? I never told you that he died, did I? It's because he didn't. Oh yeah, Heihachi was shook. He was like, brother, he. All right, I gotta not fuck it. I can't fuck around with this guy, man. Also, I can't necessarily try and kill him with my hands and feet because lava can't do it. So, whew, I guess I gotta say it was an accident, slipped. I'm glad you made it back and you remember where we lived. Okay, fantastic. Cool. Let's act natural and normal. And like, I wonder what that conversation was like when he had lava just dripping off of his body and he's unscathed, unburnt. He was Daenerys Targaryen with it. Breaker of chains, the unburnt. He was before, yeah, like he was the first. He was Malisi instead of Khaleesi. But Heihachi's still, the heavyweight champ of the world of the Iron Fist tournament. Can't nobody beat this motherfucker. His business is booming, money's flowing, crimes is getting committed, and the Mishima Zaibatsu has grown tremendously. And he's really, really a well dressed political figure now. He's wearing he's wearing time on his face. He looks a bit aged, but man, he's in magnificent shape, and he is as lethal and deadly as he's ever been. I mean, see, this is the thing with martial artists. The older they get, the deadlier they get. It's like a vampire. The older he gets, the stronger he is. Same shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so imagine, fast forward it. You got the fade when he was young and you was young, than he was. Imagine his abilities and skills now. Now, of course, Kazuya's got the devil power and all of that stuff. He can shoot lasers out of his eyes and shit. And that's another reason why Heihachi was like, well, I mean, I can't send the goons for him. I couldn't beat him. Lava and magma couldn't beat him. The earth couldn't beat him. So we got to do some more research on what the fuck he even is, and then figure out a way to stop him in a spiritual way. I don't know how we're gonna do this, but it can't be just hands and feet. That clearly wasn't enough. I whooped his ass. The earth, the mountain, like the inside of the earth whooped his ass. Like he comes out just unscathed. So he does. Finally, Kazuya Mishima beats his dad, kills his dad, because I could have saw that coming. And Heihachi, I'm sure, saw that shit coming. He's like, man, my dad, he, one of these times, one of these days, one of these days, one of these days, right to the moon. That's what he said before he did the lightning corkscrew uppercut that his dad taught him. And he got his dad the fuck up out of the paint. He got him out of there finally, once and for all. In Tekken 8, yeah, he finally did it. Took over as captain of the ship. He said, I am the captain now, to Captain Phillips. And he took the whole shit over. took over, presided over the kingdom and empire that is the Mishima Zaibatsu, and the volcano, Leslie Jones, it didn't work. Is what I spent 25 minutes. I had to illustrate and put everything in the context before I broke it down. That's why I don't. Your mind is in the right place. Your heart is in the right place. You know, you're trying to go Hammurabi with it, but it didn't work. It didn't work. Now, I'm not saying that these guys are a bunch of Kazuya Mishimas with a supernatural destiny attached to their spirit, their aura, and their being that gives them life beyond life, and like the sword of omens, sight beyond sight, and the ability to shoot lasers, tasers, and blazers, and all types of lasers out of their eyeballs, and fly and do all of this other shit. But that's Exhibit A as to why throwing motherfuckers in the volcanoes may not work. I mean, it might work though. Not everybody's built like, okay, no one that I've seen is built quite like Kazuya Mishima. You know, he had a special, a rather special kind of circumstance going on. You know what I mean? So your mileage may vary. So at least you're thinking, you know, not a lot of people are doing that. At least you went for it. At least you're thinking about it, trying to sort these things out and to think things through, Leslie. So you know you gave it your best shot. Heihachi Mishima gave it his best shot, and he fell short, man. His son climbed right out of the volcano. He was pissed. I wouldn't have been too happy either. He was really upset. Like, Dad, you can't, you the volcano, bro, pops, Dad. We could have just sat on the lake, brother, and had our fishing poles, did some night fishing, got our night crawlers and wax worms, and just got us some bluegills and crappie and some bass and some bluegills. Already said that, some catfish, and just discussed our differences, man, and worked that shit out. You don't have to throw me in no motherfucking volcano after the cliff, bro. Like, explain to me why you so scared, man. Like, why? No one else's dad be throwing them in the volcanoes, fam. Only you. Drastic. So dramatic. Cut it out. Man. So that was that.